National Park Foundation. National Park Service. National Park Trust. Wyandotte Nation. River Raisin National Battlefield Park Foundation. DTE. Lazy Boy. Ogawaag Walleye.
I've been fishing my whole life. As a young boy, my mom, she raised me on a Little Round Lake. So we're in Mille Lacs, Minnesota right now, and we're at the far western edge of our treaty territory. So we mostly follow our treaty rates under the 1837 treaty. Our chiefs for the Ojibwe people at the time made a treaty between them and the United States government. So that gives us the right to hunt, fish, and gather. We can't own the land, even though in society we have to buy our land, buy our homes. We don't own the land. So when people wanted to live here, they made these agreements to go ahead, we'll share our resources with you, but we reserve our rights to hunt, fish, and gather, and that's from where we get our life. And so when we hunt, fish, and gather, that's where we get our life. That's all medicine to us. For Anishinaabe to have good life, healthy life, and that's why it's important to us. So right now, the walleyes are starting to spawn. And the walleye spawn, I think they say when the water hits about 48 degrees. We're trying to hit the males before the females come in. So we're using nets, and the Mille Lacs net, I believe, is 4 foot deep, 100 foot long. They have these diamonds on there, and those diamonds have to be between 1 1/4 and 1 3/4 of an inch. What'll happen is the males come in first before the females come in. But what that 1 3/4 does is it only allows for a fish's head to be so big to go in there. So if you have a big female and they hit those nets, they'll just bounce right off. If you have a fish that's too small, it'll swim right through it. So by being 1 3/4, you're targeting a specific size fish. Theoretically, you hit majority males by hitting that size limit. You want to be in the rocks, walleye spawn in rocks. The bottom rope is weighted, top rope is afloat. The weights will keep the net in place. The buoy will let us know where the net's at. That bottom rope will keep the net on the bottom of the lake, and then the float will keep it so it stays standing. The walleyes will start coming in as the sun comes down. We'll pull the nets at sunrise. We're allowed 4,300 pounds as a whole reservation. And so what we'll do is we'll get our nets, pull our nets. There'll be a creel clerk. They'll weigh our fish, they'll measure our fish. At the end of the night, they'll have a total of how many poundage we take. And so as each fisherman come off, they'll total that up. And once we hit that 4,300 pounds, we're done for the year. We're not allowed to come back here and set nets or spear. You can come back and fish hook and line. But majority of fishermen, like my partner and I, we mostly just fish in the spring, and we'll get enough fish for the whole year. We catch a lot of fish, but we have big families, so we feed a lot of people, take care of a lot of elders, a lot of family. So also at this time, we spear for fish.
So sometimes it takes a little bit for the walleye to start coming in. Nightfall approaches, they're starting to work their way into the shallows. Sometimes there's a lot of patience involved. Kind of want to scout the whole premises. We're utilizing the light. The walleye eyes reflect when the light hits them. And that's how Anishinaabe a long time ago spotted the walleye with the torches. So we got to watch the eyes and find the body as soon as we find the eyes.
Anishinaabe men spearfish for walleye in the open water.
you see a fish and you see the back tail, there's a white bottom tail piece that is indication that's a walleye. You know, 100 fish one night would take care of me and my family pretty good. We wanna try to share that medicine. So 100 fish, we wouldn't have to, you know, spear very much more after that, you know, to take care of aunties, uncles, grandmas, grandpas.
With the treaties involved is we have a coal management. And so we take on this partnership of taking care of the lake. Every one of our landings has a creel team.
Measure every fish, they sex every fish that come off, they cone them. They got records back 30 years on this, so all that information is recorded every year. They work with the DNR. Our fish biologists work with the DNR fisheries and with the tribe fisheries.
Majority of all of our reservations have fish hatcheries. And we put in thousands of fingerlings of walleye, muskies.
They release more fish than they take. So it's the population, they want to keep the population there all the time.
We have biologists that study the water, study the fish themselves. None of it is taken without consideration of the safe amount of fish that can be taken off of a lake. I have younger kids that I teach. It's our responsibility as Anishinaabe people to continue it on for those people. It's our responsibility as Anishinaabe men to teach our children so that they also carry that on for the future.
Processing.
So as last night we went and got our fish creeled, measured, sexed, and now number one thing is Anishinaabe, we try to get as much as we can because we utilize this for our families again. There's some cheek meat right here that everybody loves. So I'm gonna go after that right off the bat. We're gonna slice in, nice and easy, come out, but I don't wanna come all the way off, and then all I'm gonna do is pull, cheek, cheek. We start with the backbone, the dorsal fin. There's two fillets, two slabs of meat. It's called the backstrap. People call them the backstrap. So everything runs concurrent with the spine, right? We want to make sure we get right down to the spine on each side of the fish. Slice towards the front of the head. Back down. Make an incision. Now the next step is we want to run the fillet knife right next to the backbone. Right on top of it. Glide that knife. And then fillet down to the rib cage. What I'm doing is I'm gonna open this up. Make sure I get all that meat. There's a straight line right there. If you look really close, you can see that straight line. It's kind of like the guide. I use that as the guide to cut the fillet off. Get that fillet out like that. Next thing to do is, want to go down to the skin. Cut down to the skin. Use my fillet knife. Out, back in. Fillet out, back in. Out, back in. Slowly working that meat off that skin. You can feel the Y bones right here as you run your finger right along this top slab. We want to make sure we do this cut right here, right on top of them, close as we can. Get that Y bone off. Cut right down, and then we want to cut down here, and then that's right in front of it. And this will be the whole Y bone piece right here. That's the piece you want. That's what everybody has trouble getting out of the walleye, is the Y bones. That's a nice slab of filet walleye meat, Ogawaag right there. That's our medicine that Anishinaabe is after right here. So that's a nice slab of meat right there. Fins up, back of the gills, down through the fish. Knife right along that backbone. We want to make sure we glide it right along that backbone. Then we want to start filleting it down to the rib cage. And we keep working our way down the rib cage. We want to try to get as much of that meat as possible. We actually want all that meat. We want to go through to the fish anus, just like that. And then you want to, a lot of people want to saw, you know? You want to glide, you want to fillet. And this is flimsy where you could feel the backbone, and you just want to kind of glide that fillet knife on that backbone on the top of it. You can feel it kind of clicking. You just kind of adjust it up, trying to find out where it is. You can see it right there. That's the center of the two fillets on each side. The belly, the bottom of the fish right here. You can see it pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is take my knife and I'm gonna cut right down that line. Get that fillet out like that to the skin. In, out, in, out, in, out. As you see, I like to put the fillet back on the table and then cut them Y bones on top of the skin. That's what I was trying to say. I like to put that fillet back on top of the skin because I don't want to cut into this too much. It will dull your knife. Boneless.
Pride of the Ojibwe. Lac du Flambeau, Ojibwe Nation. Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe. Great Lakes Indian Fish and Wildlife Commission.